In Florida, a controversial arrest took place, and as the story unfolds, it is unlikely to come as a surprise to many, given the recurring instances of law enforcement officers failing to carry out their duties effectively. The commanding voice of an officer rang out, ordering the car to stop while instructing its occupants to remain within its confines.
What are you doing here? Turn the car off. Turn the car off now. Turn the car off now. Turn the car off. Turn the car off now. Turn the car off.
Hey, watch what you doing because I'll punch you in your don't ever forget that. I'll punch you in your
Hey,
let me
explain to you what we're doing.
Put your hands on me and I don't
responding.
I don't give a
I'm responding to an alarm call.
Put your hands on me and I didn't turn up on you.
Turn around.
Watch your mouth. Oh my mama.
Nobody's under arrest.
The urgent commands continued as the officer persisted in demanding that the car be turned off.
You came in this hostile. Don't you ever put your hands on me. I'll spit on you. Stop.
Under arrest.
Stop. You're holding my hand. What the wrong with you?
Get down.
Stop. Chill, bro. Chill, bro. Stop.
40 seconds, right? Step it up. Get down now. Get down now. Turn around. And put your hands behind your back. Get down.
I don't care.
Get down.
Repeating the instruction with increasing urgency. In the midst of the chaos, the officer hastily clarified that the situation was not an arrest, urging the woman to turn around while reassuring them that they were not under arrest. However, the events captured in the body camera footage were deeply unsettling and shocking. Despite the officer's reassurances of trying not to cause harm, the tense atmosphere and the officer's actions conveyed a sense of imminent danger. As the situation escalated, the woman in the car expressed their distress, pleading to the officer to stop touching them. She called out to her mother, emphasizing that she could communicate with them but not the officer. Frustration filled their voice as they protested against being held and instructed the officer not to forcefully turn their face. The tension heightened further when 2 additional sheriff's deputies arrived at the scene.
Oh, you're wrong, and I take your whole time. Oh my soul, this my wrist is breaking. What the
It's not breaking.
If I said it hurt, and I will spit on you. Fix my wrist. What the is it? Oh.
What are you doing?
Stop touching me.
Stop pulling
Stop
away.
touching me. My wrist hurts. I'm gonna pull away. What the
Bro, you doing too much, bro.
You touch me, I'm gonna take your
Doing too much.
Don't touch me. What's wrong with you? You see it down there? The I'll take this whole car on my mama.
The initial officer attempted to explain the situation, but the woman in the car resisted, refusing to comply. The scene became chaotic, with the car door being forcefully slammed and the individuals traveling with the woman who had been subjected to brutality distancing themselves from the officer.
Listen, come on. You know what's going on?
They snatched her out of the car, slammed on her face, bro. They still over here off my wrist now.
The officer's body camera captured the events, and it became evident that those present wanted no association with the officer involved. The woman stressed that their wrists were inside the vehicle and cautioned the officer against pushing them, asserting that they were capable of handling the situation without any external force.
Okay.
Get it?
Calm down, we'll help you out, okay?
Don't push me, bro. I'm not gonna tell you.
Put your feet in the car, please.
You start to get away. I will listen
I will
to
help
you,
you out.
but she cannot be in my face.
It also captures this woman being placed in a squad car. To reiterate, this woman did not do anything wrong, and we know this via local media. So here comes the next investigation story. During a game in Manchester, a police officer harassed A.J. Dillon, a running back for the Green Bay Packers. The incident, captured on video, gained widespread attention. Dillon had sought permission from security guards to interact with fans during a rain delay. As he prepared to jump back into the stands, the officer grabbed him by the collar and pushed him forward. The Green Bay Police Department acknowledged policy violations by the officer and took appropriate action. The Green Bay Packers appreciated the department's response and reiterated their commitment.
Go, Pack, go!
safety at Lambeau Field. Dillon confirmed the misunderstanding and that security had given him permission to engage with the crowd. Dillon explains while enjoying the game from his family's suite. A.J. Dillon witnessed the rain delay and seizing the opportunity for some last-minute fun before training camp, he noticed passionate fans braving the rain and going wild in the stands. Inspired, A.J. suggested to his brother-in-law that they join the enthusiastic crowd.
Rain's coming down and they're going crazy, wilding out down there in the stands. I look at my brother-in-law, I'm like, hey, let's go ahead and get down there. Let's go join the fans. So he ran down.
Making their way down, AJ encountered two security guards and sought their permission to stay in a specific section to interact with the fans.
Stay in this little section, just show the people some love, and they're like, yeah, so they helped me down.
And these security guards know that you're AJ Dillon.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're like,
like you're in your house.
Yeah, they gave me their hands, helped me down, and I jumped down there, and I'm starting to chant, high-fiving people, and then I'm about to jump on my Lambo leap, and all of a sudden I'm like, whoo, like I felt like getting pulled back, and I honestly thought it was a fan, like it was down there. I was like, oh, somebody really wants to take a picture.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And this guy's like, get up there, you're getting arrested. I'm like, all right, that was my plan. I was about to jump up.
They recognized him as A.J. Dillon and gladly assisted him in descending to the lower section. A.J. engaged with the fans, leading chants and exchanging high fives. As he was about to jump into the Lambeau leap, he suddenly felt a force pulling him back. Initially assuming it was an eager fan wanting a photo, A.J. soon realized that he was being confronted by an individual who instructed him to return to his seat, indicating he was being arrested. Deciding it was best to comply, A.J. quickly rose to avoid any further complications in the situation. Next is a drunken cop caught on duty.
Hey, Officer Oscar, why don't we come back out here real quick? Come back here, man. It's all good.
Hey, man. So, can you just put your hands on the roof for me? I'm gonna remove your gun, okay? You got any other weapons?
No, but I'm
You can
for
say
seizure. You're prone to seizures? Okay, I'll turn my lights off real quick for you, all right?
I'm gonna put this in my car for the duration of this.
An on-duty police officer, Oscar, was caught exhibiting signs of impairment while on the job. As the officer was conducting his duties, he was approached by another officer who called out to him, urging him to return to the scene. The other officer assured Officer Oscar that everything was all right and requested for him to place his hands on the roof while the individual removed his gun for safety. Officer Oscar complied and informed the person that he did not possess any other weapons but mentioned having seizures. In an attempt to alleviate the situation, Officer Oscar decided to turn his lights off momentarily. Observers noted that despite his efforts to remain composed and collected, Oscar's behavior clearly indicated impairment.
I guess it went to you guys.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure other people was probably calling you.
Okay.
But,
yeah, we got a call.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. He could be having a medical condition, but he was asleep. We passed by his car. He was asleep.
He was asleep?
He was
when did you pass by his car?
Right over here at Center and Firewood.
He came and he keeps stumbling.
Do you smell anything?
Upon searching Officer Oscar's car, it became apparent why he'd been pulled over in the first place. Allegedly, this was the manner in which he had been behaving prior to the concerned individual's intervention. Citizens had dialed 911 to report Officer Oscar's erratic behavior on the road. Witnesses described him as driving all over the road, frequently stopping in the middle of the street or off the road and disregarding stop signs. Despite attempting to reach the Apopka Police Department directly, the concerned individuals were informed that it was closed, prompting them to call 911 instead. They expressed certainty that others may have also placed similar calls, and the conversation briefly mentioned a call regarding firewood, although the context and relevance were unclear. Officer Oscar's condition appeared to be deteriorating as he struggled to maintain his balance and coherence. The conversation took a sudden turn to a discussion about the type of beer that was present in a center console when Officer Oscar initially arrived. The details surrounding the statement were unclear. In an attempt to manage the situation, other officers instructed Officer Oscar to sit down and assured him that emergency medical services would be summoned to transport him. Officer Oscar was asked if he had done anything to celebrate the day, to which he responded negatively. However, he proceeded to disclose disclosed that he had taken a significant amount of Benadryl. Acknowledging the nature of their profession, Officer Oscar stated it's often better to be honest. The conversation took a turn as Officer Oscar admitted to having an open container of alcohol in his vehicle, emphasizing that mistakes are made by everyone. The individual speaking with him commented on the stressfulness of their job and alluded to Officer Oscar possibly having a stressful night prior. They expressed a desire for law enforcement officers to treat everyone with fairness and humanity rather than solely favoring their fellow officers. In a desperate plea, Officer Oscar expressed his desire to avoid going to jail. However, the officers continued to engage with him, assuring him that they would figure things out. They instructed Officer Oscar to place his hands together as if in prayer. In an unexpected twist, the officers chose to disregard their colleagues' pleas and proceeded to arrest him despite the initial leniency displayed. It is worth noting that there is no available information to suggest that Officer Oscar caused harm to anyone while he was on duty. It is hoped that his arrest serves as a wake-up call for him and leads to necessary introspection and change.
The law is for everyone to follow, and no one is exempted from it, not even lawyers. No matter how intelligent they think they are, karma always gets them. Can attorneys get away with anything? Can they sway a ruling in favor of their clients or even themselves? Watch the video to see how these attorneys get owned by cops for breaking the law.
Las Vegas attorney in some trouble for a series of alleged late-night rendezvous with one of her clients.
Hal Uhrig, an area criminal defense attorney from Orlando, made headlines all over the country. Hal Uhrig, who represented George Zimmerman in the Trayvon Martin shooting incident, was arrested on various charges, which included soliciting perjury and tampering with a witness or victim. Marcos Lopez, Osceola County Sheriff, said that Uhrig took on a case involving a man named Krishnath Prasad, who had been charged of raping a 9-year-old girl. Uhrig was accused of holding a meeting with his client, the victim, and her father. Uhrig tried to cut a deal to keep the suspect from going to jail. During their meeting, Uhrig instructed the victim and her father to do 3 things. Firstly, to write a declination, that is a letter to the state attorney saying that the rape never happened.
Basically a letter to the state attorney saying the rape didn't happen.
Secondly, to avoid being served a subpoena so that they didn't have to go to court to testify, and lastly, to lie during their deposition and say that the rape didn't happen. According to Lopez, he wanted to make sure this guy didn't go to trial for rape. He added that Mr. Prasad committed the sexual battery at a time when she was 9 years old. And this is what caused Mr. Uhrig to work a deal out with the victim to try and get Mr. Prasad off on a lesser charge so that sexual assault battery cases will go to trial, and this will be a separate trial against the attorney. Even after being pressured to such an extent, the victim decided to come forward and report the conduct to the state attorney's office in July of 2021. Osceola County started an investigation against Prasad's attorney on the basis of the victim's complaint. The victim's father engaged in a controlled phone call with Uhrig and said that he couldn't talk on the phone about any specifics and wanted to meet in person. According to the officials, the father wore a recording device during his meeting with Uhrig, and during the meeting, the attorney made him turn off his cell phone and told the father to read a script off of his computer screen.
He wore a recording device, the victim's father. During the meeting, the attorney made him turn off his cell phone.
Lopez said that the script was his defense for when he goes to court on the charges. However, fate had other plans for them. Prasad, who was arrested back in 2019, is working his way through the court system. On the other hand, Uhrig is accused of soliciting to commit perjury, which is a third-degree felony, and also for tampering with and harassing a victim, which amounts to a capital life felony. Given Uhrig's 40-year-long career, this might not be the first time he has done something like this. According to Lopez, if you're an attorney, you've been practicing law for a long time, and there's no way you're going to jeopardize your career on something like this, especially at that age. Especially at that age, it's retirement time. So I think this wasn't his first rodeo. Unless someone else comes forward, we won't know that, but that's what I suspect this time. The next attorney in line is Alexis Plunkett. This topsy-turvy case involves a 38-year-old attorney from Las Vegas named Alexis Plunkett, was indicted with 2 counts of conspiracy to unlawfully possess a portable communication device and 12 counts of a portable telecommunication device by a prison. The charges relate to her visit with her 28-year-old client and boyfriend at the time named Andrew Arevalo. This man was shot in the face by a high state correction officer in 2014. He also faced felony and weapon charges and was awaiting trial. His case was represented by Plunkett in his lawsuit against the Nevada Department of Corrections in connection with the shooting, which resulted in another man's death. During her visit, security camera footage shows Plunkett handing over her phone to Ervelop. Now, this is a felony that could land her in jail for a year. However, her case took a complicated turn. Even though the couple started off as boyfriend and girlfriend, they were experiencing rifts in their relationship after her phone was examined by the police. It seems that she is trying to put a hit on Arevalo. Her text messages about her joking about felonies led her to her downfall. Some of the texts read, "I've placed hits in every Nevada prison on Andrew with every homie and lifer I know." She further added, "This pause will never survive in prison now. He's F with the wrong bit. I am not the one. I represent all the sure knows and he's gonna get it." However, one of the people in the group asked her to delete the message. He said, "Alexis, this isn't funny. I know you are under a tremendous amount of stress, but I'm not interested in joking about felonies. I don't think anyone is either." She replied, "I am not joking. That's why I said to delete it. He said he was going to have me murdered, so I'll take care of business first." Plunkett's attorney Adam Solinger said that her messages show that she was under great stress and she was only venting about the bad situation she was in, and that her words shouldn't be taken as a serious threat. Despite all of her 14-count indictment, Plunkett was dismissed by the district judge Michael Villani. However, she was shockingly arrested again for charges of bribing or intimidating a witness, which is a felony. According to her lawyer, her guilty plea comes after reaching an agreement with prosecutors. The agreement is a good resolution for all sides involved. It's the choice that she made that's best for her, and I respect that. Ultimately, it came down to being tired of continued litigation. Fighting a war on two fronts takes a toll on you, and remaining in custody pending your trial and resolution of your other case is really hard to do. She pleaded guilty of possession of a telecommunication device and was ordered to serve 3 years of probation and was later disbarred. In the next case, Christopher Reynolds, a 44-year-old Florida attorney, shocked everyone. He was accused of stealing nearly $800,000 from his clients. He was arrested by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office for multiple charges, including money laundering and grand theft. He started his private practice in Seminole back in 2015, representing victims of vehicle crashes. He had dealt with at least 16 clients before they had their money stolen by Reynolds. It was back in October that the detectives came to know about the theft when one of Reynolds' clients came forward. The client complained to the authorities that her lawsuit for $100,000 had been settled months earlier. However, Reynolds never notified her about this. The investigators made a shocking discovery. Reynolds had forged his client's signature on the legal documents and collected the money from insurance companies that should have been disturbed to pay medical bills and provide other compensation related to car accident. This was a similar pattern for most of the clients that had availed his services. Once he had settled his case, he would disappear without a trace, never to be seen again. He would neither pick up the calls or respond to the voicemails, and would cut off all forms of communication he had with the client's eye. In another incident, the lawyer pocketed the woman's $100,000 and continuously lied to her in the communications before it abruptly stopped that he was going to solve this with the insurance company. He also forged the woman's name on settlement documents, and he never paid her medical bills with the settlement money. His highest theft amounted to $148,750 from a client back in 2019. Sheriff Gualtieri claimed that the clients must have had serious injuries for their settlement money to be in 6 figures. Now, what did he do with the money he stole? The answer will shock you. The lawyer had a drug abuse problem. He used a portion of the stolen money to purchase drugs and nearly spent $30,000 on pornography and $424,000 on prostitution. Sheriff Gualtieri later commented, "They're licensed to practice law. They've got the boxes checked. They've got the credentials. They've got the credibility that goes with that, and they're really just a thief who is ripping them off." These are not isolated cases. Many lawyers who are corrupted and have been cheating people for years are roaming free in this world with no one to put a check on them. What do you think of these lawyers? Were they punished approximately? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to press the bell icon and subscribe to our channel for future updates.